All right, welcome everybody to Season 3, Episode 19 of the Fantasy Guys. We are officially live and ready to get the regular season of the NFL football season finale on the road. All ready to get this show going. Looking forward to a great show today. Again, this is the NFL regular season finale / time to celebrate the fantasy football champions. Unless you're AB in a random league that you might be playing it for a championship this week, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But again, we're officially live. Season 3, Episode 19 of the Fantasy Guys. I don't think Tony will be joining us because we're starting a little early today. And Tony's on Tony time. By the time he gets here, the show's going to be ending. And then Moti had some car situations happening, so I don't think he'll be showing up today either. So today we have AB Abraham and Jose the Don Campbell. And don't put the camera on Jose yet, Yusuf, because we have to do a proper introduction for Jose. Of course, you got Yusuf T in the back on the ones and twos as always. We appreciate him. Shout out to Yusuf T. And also we wanna go ahead and before we even get to the sponsors, before we even tell people to go ahead and follow us on all of our socials, we got to give a shout out to the champion of the Fantasy Guys 2023 fantasy season.
The champ is here.
The champ is in the building. It is Jose the Don Campbell. Go ahead and give him a round of applause.
The tribal chief.
Got to give him the trophy. Make sure your camera. Yep, there you go.
Look at that picture right there, boys.
And so,
look at that right there.
Some of you are wondering, why is he holding 2 belts and a trophy? Well, obviously, he won the Fantasy Guys championship. Shout out to Jose, one of the Fantasy Guys. I'm not going to lie to you. No favoritism, but it makes me a little happy because, sometimes people be like, man, you guys don't know what y'all talking about. That's not true. As you can see, one of ours won the championship, but he didn't just win one this year. He won 3 championships. So, Jose,
the champ is here.
What does that make your total count at right now, Jose?
We're at 6.
6
lifetime.
Total championships.
Yep. This is why we do it.
Talk to us, Jose. What's the speech? What's the?
All right, I'm gonna quote my boy Fabo real quick. You know what I'm saying. He said it in a great time. He told me, you do it once, they gonna call it luck. So I got to repeat. Do it 2 times, they're going to still doubt. Now you got a 3-peat.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to be, just me, Jordan, Kobe, Shaq. It's a great
Brady.
You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little pedestal to be on. So
for sure.
First time ever. I'm not going to brag, but this is the first time ever it happened to me that I won multiple leagues. I'm not going to lie. A lot of my friends, a lot of times I've come close. One year I was in 4 finals, never came out with nothing.
Ooh.
I know, me and Moti were talking about it. He's in 3 finals last week. Didn't get one. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw. It was just a great year. It was a fun year for fantasy football.
It was an interesting year in fantasy football. Jose's team obviously was always in the top 4 or 5 the whole year. Yep. But, he did what he had to do. His team came together. And shout out to Jose, the champion. Moti had a great year as well. That's who he played in the finals. So, AB Abraham, that's sitting right here next to me, also won a few. You know what I'm saying? We got to give a shout out to AB Abraham, who will also be joining the Fantasy Guys League. When he signed his official contract, it was after the league was formed, so he was no matter what going to be in the league next year, but he said, let me go ahead and kick the door right open to let people know I'm coming. How many did you win this year, AB?
So I won 2 this year.
What's your total count now?
I've been playing fantasy almost 20 years.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, I have no idea.
Okay.
It's multiple. It's up there. It's probably 10 plus.
Wow.
If not more. Belichick. I mean, there's been years I've had multiple, but it's been a minute since I've won one, to be honest. I think, being a part of this show was big time. Having you guys at my disposal, outside of the show, being able to text you guys, talk about stuff, really helped out. Dub One, if you're listening, shout out to you. Couldn't score 100 points in that final. I am taking your spot in the Champions League.
Yeah,
it's official.
Yeah, you were for sure going to take.
Official. I want Dub One spot.
Yeah, you're right.
One Dub One spot.
You know what?
But I'm in the 3rd championship. I'm in the 3rd championship today. It's a bunch of guys that I went to high school with, their wives and stuff like that. It's a league that we've ran through. I don't know why he extended it to the week 18, but yeah, I'm in another one. So.
All right. Well, there you go. We're gonna
hold on.
There's still one more champion.
Yeah. We got something new to me being a part of this group now. We do Boom Phillies every week. And at first I had a hard time really grasping what I was trying to do here.
It ain't easy.
It really is.
It's not easy.
take it from me. I talked to a couple guys. Like, how did Jimmy talks to me all the time? Yeah, man, I listen. The Boom Philly. Who's your Boom Phillies, baby? Thinking it's an easy thing, but it's tough to pick a person to 1.5 times their projections. I mean, to go one and then go back to back, and then you go back to back to back. That's 3, right?
Yeah.
But to go back to back to back to back.
I think only Drake talked about that.
Congratulations, Omar Thabit, going back to back to back to back 4-time straight Boom Philly award winner.
Real quick.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. When Tony came up with this idea, you gotta give him the credit. I thought it was actually a great idea because
that's crazy. Fahmy invented fantasy football and Boom Phillies.
And so the funny thing is, I tell Tony all this time because we've been doing sports show for like a while, even before Oz Media, and so we've been doing it for a while. We did Boom Phillies. We never kept track, and I was like, man, I am about to keep track of this. We should just say our Boom Phillies. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Tony for that because I'm gonna be honest with you. I tell people it's like another league. Honestly.
Yeah, it almost is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I compare it, I'm not going to compare it to the gambling, but like a FanDuel lineup, you got to literally just go through the matchups and there is it's serious, guys. We sit there and go through hours and days of checking projections, looking at them moving up and down. You got to be ready. You can't, it's now our new rule, you can't boom more than 2 people, so you got to be ahead of everybody else. And real quick,
2 people can't have. Yeah, one guy more than twice.
And just so you guys know, Umar ended with a 33%.
Thank you.
Like that. That's tough.
Crazy.
That's very tough. And he had the most guys that he boomed Philly. I mean, he was well over 100. How many guys did he?
163. He boomed.
Like every week, you figure what was the minimum, 3 to 4 or something like that. This guy was doing 10 to 12 a week
and hitting at least
and
7.
still hitting 30%. In baseball. That 3,
that's a good batting average. Right
with 100. Listen, to fail 7 times and still be considered a Hall of Famer, 7 out of 10 times, all you got to do is hit 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
And you're a Hall of Famer. Omar, you're a Hall of Famer.
No, thank you, man. And like I said, man, it's fun. It's really something that we do amongst ourselves as the fantasy guys, and we're going to continue to do it. And we might have to spice things up a little more, man. I was considering it just so you guys can have some fun with it as well. We might have to look into next year maybe having a little, a bonus prize, you know what I'm saying? Where we give somebody a little something if they
maybe
come on top.
Philly sandwich.
There you go. Something very simple. But with that said, thank you. That's how we're going to start off the show. We wanted to congratulate everyone for winning their winnings. Shout out to Bassam Goba who won Champions League.
We just spoke to him.
BG will be in the building. Inshallah, BG will be in the league next year. You got Tasty to won the league. We're going to try to get him in, inshallah. Assam won the league. Going to try to get him in. And somebody that I'm looking forward to big time, White Boys and Danny won a league. Oh. And he's going to be in the league, inshallah, next year. That's
Santana Moss is in a lineup.
Yeah.
He's in my roster.
It's going to be funny. He won his league. I was so excited when he said that. I asked a lot of people who won because I want to know who. We're trying to mix and match the right people for the league next year. But be sure to follow us on all of our socials. You got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under Oz Media. You can listen to the show later on Apple and Spotify podcasts under Oz Media. If you want to call in, the number is 313-306-1750. Shout out to the sponsors, Balkan House, Juice Box, Qahwah House, BC Adhesives, Specialty Medical Center, Hanley International Academy, and Unique Coney Island. We're going to quickly run this Unique Coney Island ad. So much to cover. We have to finish this show in an hour, though, because me and Yusuf we do have to head out. So shout out to Unique Coney Island, and then we're going to officially get the show on the road.
All right, Yusuf, I'm looking for a place for some unique food.
It sounds like you're trying to go to Unique Coney Island.
It sounds like you're right. Unique Coney Island is famous for their original unique pita, homemade chicken lemon rice, unique chicken qalaba, shawarma, gyro, and much more. They also now have a rewards program where every 100 points you get $7 off your next meal. They currently have 2 locations, one in Sterling Heights and one in downtown Detroit. So if you're looking for a place that has unique foods, be sure to stop by Unique Coney Island.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to basically talk about some bust players from each position, and we're going to also talk about some boom players from each position. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you guys off, the top maybe 10, 15, whatever it may be, if it's receivers or running backs, try to read them off as fast as you can. And then you guys pretty much tell me if you guys think that they're who are the busts and who are the booms and things like that. Okay, so let's start off with the top 3 bust players from each position. Honestly, we don't have to necessarily actually do from each position, in order. But some players that from the top of your head, you'd be like, man, these guys did not have a great year. Bust player definitely.
Travis Kelce.
That's number 1 for you.
Yeah, and I still won a championship, drafted him in the first round. It was the first time I ever jumped to take a tight end or take Travis Kelce on my team. And boy, did he bust. He busted.
So,
expectations, he
Absolutely.
busted.
Yeah, the way I look at Travis Kelce, because he still finished number 2. By the way, shocker to everybody. You want to hear the air horn?
Finished number 2.
You want to hear the air horn? Finish
he
number
did.
1. Hurry up with the air horn.
Sammy Laporte me.
Sam Laporta was the number 1 fantasy tight end.
But see, well, if we go all season, you're right. Kelce had the big beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But when you go to the tail end, and we're talking fantasy, now we're talking going into the playoffs, making a run. You got Trey McBride, you got Hawkinson before you got Dalton Schultz, but Dalton Schultz, the Njoku came out of nowhere with Flacco.
Likely.
But I'm just saying, likely, as soon as Edwards went, and I took him in another league. Like I said, I don't take tight ends pretty high. I normally don't.
Yeah.
But I was able to grab Likely, and he stepped up and put up more production.
It wasn't a good year
Andrews.
to draft tight ends. I'm gonna be honest with you, because you get a lot of the late rounders really did great. You got David Njoku at the end of the season came alive. You got Evan Ingram. He was a solid performer all year round. And then you got people that got drafted higher, like Dallas Goedert. I took him in the 5th round in a lot of leagues, because I remember doing my first draft and I noticed that the tight end position was the thinnest position. But the crazy part is that's the league I landed Laporta, because I waited for a tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just the timing for that.
But I think, you grab Laporta because you're a Lions guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Realistically, you said, you know what, I'm going to take a shot. I'm a Lions guy. This is the team I focus on, I concentrate on. These are my guys.
And we heard about during camp how they were talking him up, saying he was really poised. He was very sharp. He played like a veteran, and he had it. He had the fact. That was good. That was a nit.
Fantasy aside, I'm so excited that we have Sam Laporta on our team, man.
He can break the tight end record. I think was it the tight end record today?
It's 2 rookies. Yeah, both rookies got a chance to break a record. Nuka's got it. Puka Nuka.
Yeah. Puka Nuka.
Almost guy. He's got it.
Said it week 1. Here's a name, remember? And I watched the video and I bashed you. I was like, who's that? I forgot. Was that a cricket player?
Yeah.
And we all had a good laugh.
Yeah.
And then my man dropped 270 yards.
And he's got a chance to break a rookie record today too.
Staffy.
Yeah.
The Dolphins got a chance to break 2 records today. There's a couple of records up for grabs.
It's crazy is a lot of how all these players are playing for money. They're the bonuses. Those are crazy, man.
Javion Clowney.
Yeah, I saw yesterday Javion Clowney hit his. He was going crazy. But Nelson Aguilar was 19 yards shy from getting $250,000, man. I know that's devastating. That's devastating.
Well, that's where you've got to. Raining is, but you got to force him the ball.
Yeah.
That's right.
Set up. Just give him a couple of routes.
I agree. I agree. Big bust to me, Austin Eckler for the running back position.
Number 1 running back bust.
I think that he was very underwhelming. I was very surprised with the way that he was. Even when he was healthy, it was weird. It was a weird situation. But again, that's why Brandon Staley got fired. I don't know Eckler if he's going to be back next year. It's a very interesting situation.
Not even that. The offensive coach after Staley got fired, the offensive coordinator, the first thing he said was that we're going to play all 3 running backs and we're going to go with a high hand. So I don't know if they were even convinced of just using him as a workhorse, as in the prior seasons, prior years.
Where does he go next year? Team, and then what round? I guess team you don't have to worry about. But what round? Where does he go? It's a very sticky situation for Austin Eckler.
Well, we got to see when Herbert comes back. It was so hard to do anything when Herbert was gone because the offense had no aerial threat.
I'm just saying, he's a free agent, Eckler. So
you're talking about does he stay or does he go?
Yeah.
Do you
I don't know. Let's say he goes to a team that's it's a good fit. Are you taking Eckler in the first round?
Depending on the offensive scheme, absolutely.
Okay. How about you, Jose?
I feel like he's in the downtrend of his years right now, especially as a running back.
Yeah, but he's not a Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook went to the Jets and everybody was all high on Dalvin Cook. No, I feel like if Eckler does go somewhere, again, depending on the system.
Yeah.
Depending on where he goes,
he's got to go to a pass happy.
And who's in there? Who's in place? Who's at running back right now for that team?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he's still very effective.
Yeah.
Very effective.
One of my biggest, one guy I took very high, and anybody that drafted him reached for him. was Garrett Wilson. And I'm not going to say he's a bust.
No, you're right.
Because of what he just got put in a bad situation. Aaron Rodgers going down. You know what I'm saying? So that guy and Austin Eckler were honestly like my first rounders that I noticed that slipped off.
What about Barkley?
Chase. I mean, Barkley was like he was
supposed to have a year this year.
Besides Bijan Robinson in the first round and McCaffrey, every other running back that was taken, you had your Nick Chubbs, he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it was. I know people that took Tony Pollard at 10, and they looked like they were a genius at one point. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna take Tony. I was one of those people that was gonna take Tony Pollard early.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, now that you look back on the draft, like even like the second round, you got some people hit and miss. Man, you got Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Do you feel Derrick Henry, don't get me wrong, at the end of the year had his
he came out when people needed him, depending on if he was good enough to keep them in contention.
Yeah, but it's like you can't predict this stuff. This stuff's crazy. Like, it's for me to win a championship, you just gotta get lucky and all the right things happen at the right time.
Mo Malahi said, "Nice to see AB on the show today. Great guy, man. Knows what he's talking about."
Who said that?
Mo Malahi.
That's my
Mookie.
guy.
Shout out to Mookie.
That's my
Mookie, man.
guy.
Any other players from the top of your heads, Yusuf? Anybody you want to throw out? I know you back there. Any quarterback that you think that was a bust quarterback?
Patrick
Mahomes?
Said it before and I'll say it again. Play to replay, even though he was on my team. Mahomes is not the same. I'm telling you. I told you guys. Y'all looked at me like I was crazy.
Hold on, though.
No, Mahomes.
Hold
is
on,
still,
no, but hold on.
Hey, that defense carried the team this year.
Okay, but hold on, though. You know, they were on primetime a lot. They had a lot of TV action. For guys that don't have the Red Zone channel and watching, you know.
They're never on Red Zone because they were never in it. Boom! Hit me the horn. Horn me real quick. All right, go ahead.
You know, to be asked for a horn means that it was,
no, listen, Patrick.
he had a lot of, listen, man, he had no receivers. Let's be realistic, dude.
Yeah.
Tony couldn't catch a ball. He couldn't catch a cold if his life depended on it.
Bad. It's getting real bad.
Hold on. Scanlon, MVS couldn't. Yeah, dude. Come on, man. Like, they're dropping passes. He had no faith. Kelsey, all of a sudden, he's got too much going on with all these endorsement commercials, Taylor Swift, all that other BS. Like, this guy, you were hearing name, Justin Watson's. Was it Noah Gray?
I think he got put on IR. One of those guys got put on IR.
But I'm just saying, look who he's got to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Travis Kelce is a weird fall off. I think he's hurt. I think he's injured from the beginning of the year.
Since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and
since that one game, I remember he hurt his forearm or something.
and then his ankle or something.
He's never been
No, it was something he took a hit. You're right. Early, and
so
he just won't sit out.
He's been weird. He's been weird.
I ain't gonna lie, they did a great job with Rashee Rice, though. I'll tell you that.
They did.
They found
the guy.
Great, man.
They got a good pickup from him. But to me, even Rashee Rice is like a 2 at best.
Exactly.
He's not a 1 on a team. All right.
He's an outside guy. They need a slot guy.
So we kind of named a couple, from each position, about busts from each position. All right, now how about boom players? Now this is the part where I'm going to read you guys off the top 10 list, because this is where you guys are gonna be like, wow. This is in Yahoo. This was 6-point touchdown passes in our league, and it was 25 yards per point for quarterbacks. Okay, listen to this
Josh Allen.
top 15, I guess. You got Allen, Hurts, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson. At number 5, Jordan Love.
Hello.
Number 6, Brock Purdy. 7, Mahomes. 8, Jared Goff. Number 9, Baker Mayfield. 10, Stroud. 11, Tua. 12, Wilson. 13, Stafford. Howell at 14, and Lawrence at 15.
That's crazy.
Who are we thinking about right now, guys? I mean,
Jordan
obviously,
Love.
Jordan Love,
Honestly,
number 5.
You got to look at the guys that weren't drafted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Baker Mayfield wasn't drafted.
Yeah.
Jordan Love wasn't drafted.
I mean, Goff maybe was drafted, but at least,
Love's in the top 5. And he also credits a lot of the other guys you named, the Trevor Lawrence's,
even Brock Purdy has 6 is surprising too.
No, Purdy had a good year this year.
No, I'm talking about surprise. I didn't think he would be number 6. Is what I'm saying.
But like Dak Prescott.
Well, you have any shares of Purdy?
No.
Oh, then yeah, you wouldn't have seen. I actually have him I have him in my dynasty league, and he put up some pretty good numbers. Like, I'm not super surprised about the 6, but like Jordan Love played every game. He didn't get hurt this year. He didn't step back. They played a lot from behind, and you can tell that AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, they had both off years, so a lot of the scoring was obviously
Jordan
passing
Love.
and through the air. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'll tell you another quarterback, maybe going back to Bust, that people are probably not happy with. I mean, I know he got injured, but even when he was playing in the beginning, Joe Burrow.
B.
Burrow
my guy.
didn't have it. But I do
Oh yeah,
like
his
Joe Burrow.
first four. You guys notice that every season, right? The Bengals
Start off
slow, yeah,
every year.
and Joey B does the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, wide receivers. Here we go. Get ready for this one. Number 1, CeeDee Lamb.
Of course.
Number 2, Tyreek Hill.
Hold on, CD was higher than Tyreek?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Number 3, Amunra St. Brown.
The sun god.
Number
The
4,
guy that got snubbed.
AJ Brown. Number 5, Puka Nacua.
Wow.
Number
Ooh.
6, Keenan Allen. Number 7, Keenan Allen, by the way, missing 3 games.
Yeah.
Number 7, Mike Evans. Number 8, DJ Moore. Number 9, from Michigan, Nico
Nico.
Collins. Number 10.
Does that include yesterday?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Number 10, Stephon Diggs. Number 11, Jamar Chase. Number 12, Pittman. 13, Adams. 14, Ayuk. 15, Samuel.
That's crazy.
16, Thielen. Smith, Devontae, 17, Cooper, 18, Metcalf, 19, and Olave's 20 with Rashee Rice at 21. And Pickens, believe it or not, at 22.
Pickens had
and
some
then
decent games.
Garrett Wilson and Calvin Ridley and Zay Flowers finish out the top 25. Anybody that's like, wow, this guy.
Puka.
I mean, obviously, Puka Nacua.
You can look at the top 10 and say, honest to God, I would put Puka and I would throw in Mike Evans because I didn't expect the guy to be a top 10 receiver. at
Me
least.
either. Me either.
And also, of course, Nico Collins, man. Shout out to Nico. Man.
I know it's funny. I talked early in the fantasy guys season. I was on the show and I was like asking about receiver help, and I said, I don't know, man. Every single league I was in, nobody wanted to draft Mike Evans. Remember, I was telling you
Yeah.
I got stuck with Mike Evans and Terry McLaurin.
And I.
Yeah. But remember, I kept talking about Mike Evans. Like nobody wanted him for some reason this year, and I
remember.
he was part of
Big time.
both my championships.
One of the biggest steals was Mike Evans.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
But
it was late.
you
It
know
was
what's
like
the
it was like
craziest-
6th round, 7th round.
After week 1, we talked about who's Houston's receivers, and we
Yeah.
are like, I think Nico Collins is all they
Nico,
got.
yeah.
And then they got, what's the craziest part? And they got Tank Dell. Tank Dell had an amazing year.
I seen early, me jumping already to next year. I saw an early draft. They have Tank Dell going late 3rd round.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Fantasy.
if he's
That's like pick
when
35.
when you draft your franchise quarterback in the 1st round and he calls you and says, "Listen,
Go get this guy."
give me this guy."
Shout out to CJ Stroud. I mean, for him to recognize that
Hey,
talent.
you guys heard about what CJ Stroud and Nico Collins do, right?
Yeah.
Since CJ Stroud never beat Michigan in college and Nico never beat Ohio State, they don't talk about the rivalry.
That's funny.
That's crazy. That's funny.
But
can't.
Nico Collins is on top of the world right now.
Of course, right now.
All right. Any other big ones? I mean, I don't think so. I think Diggs started to have fall off. So the second
Diggs
half.
definitely fell off.
you know what's crazy?
know.
Real talk. But you know what is crazy? That both 49ers receivers are top 15.
Yeah.
That's
And back to back, right next to each other too.
Yeah, that's creepy.
And people might think like Debo had the bigger year, but Brandon Ayuk actually had a better year.
Well, yeah, he had yards and stuff. Now, do the stats for Debo count with his rushing? Because you remember, Debo got a lot.
Yeah,
of
those
rushing.
stats do count. That's everything. Adams is a bust. He just dropped a 40-point game last game for no reason. He gave me 1 point the week before. I mean, Adams finishing at 13. Listen, I mean, he was very inconsistent. But I'm going to be honest with you. He probably got drafted like as the 8th receiver, 7th, 8th receiver, and finished 13. It sucks. I know.
with quarterback issues.
Yeah.
You didn't think? I mean, who really thought Jimmy G was going in there to do some stuff?
Yeah, I wasn't high on Adams. I traded for him because I figured that it would be, second half of the year, which he ended up doing well in the playoffs, but I didn't even get to that point anyways that far to even enjoy that last week. Running backs are even more weird than even receivers because running backs, this was like that year where it was like good luck.
Oh, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Good luck.
Hey, this was the year to wait on running backs.
Yeah.
If you didn't take McCaffrey in the 1st round, every league, so like in 2 leagues, I landed McCaffrey. 1 and 2, it was funny. And I waited on the 2nd running back. In 1 league, I landed James Cook. In 1 league, I remember saying to myself, if I can get McCaffrey, I can put any other running back next to him, it'll be a good running back core.
Yeah.
1 league, I was riding Brian Robinson, and it was perfect, and it was crazy. And I picked up like Zeke for the playoff run, and it's like, bro, you know how every year it's give or take, you can always wait out in position, and this was the year I felt like you could have waited on a running back.
I agree.
Where like you could have landed a Pacheco at the end, or you could have landed. I know he did good in the beginning of the season. He was up and down as Kenneth Walker. And it was another weird.
Or who else he could have landed? To me, Rashard White, who was to me one of
Rashard White
was solid.
And it was also the year to pick up running back.
So I went completely opposite in a couple leagues, and a couple of those names you guys dropped. Like I know from my outlets that I like to get my information from, my sources. We're saying like a guy like Rashad White, be careful of, right?
Yeah.
Who's the other running back you guys just talked about?
James Cook
getting late. Well, see, Cook was going late.
How about Pacheco?
See, Pacheco, I had Pacheco the year before, and
You
like
already
to
knew
me, yeah. But in a couple leagues,
let me read them off to you, and then maybe you can
I was gonna
tell
say
me.
in a couple leagues though, I went running backs early. Like
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Let me grab the top two.
And I'll be comfortable taking a receiver.
And the receiver core just so while everybody else is looking for what you just said, I'm gonna try to find that diamond in the rough. Like who's gonna be that guy this year? I don't got to worry about that.
You took the guarantees.
Yeah, I went in my 12-man league. I went Chubb and Barkley back to back.
All right, here we go. Y'all ready for these
I
names?
still made the semifinal.
McCaffrey, number 1. And then a huge drop-off. A matter of fact, 130-point drop-off. To number 2, Travis Etienne. By the way, both of Moti's running backs.
That's crazy.
Number
And
3.
Real quick. Moti called it week 1. Travis Etienne is going to be a baller.
3, Raheem Mostert. Number 4.
His touchdowns were sick.
Brees Hall.
Oof.
Number 5.
Here's my guy.
Kyron Williams. Number 6, Rashad White. 7, Mixon. 8, Gibbs. 9, Kamara, even missing 4 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever. 10, Henry. 11, Cook. 12, Bijan. 13, Pacheco. 14, he doesn't ride Chrysler. He only rides Ford. All right. 15, Pollard. 16, Barkley. 17, Swift. 18, Montgomery. 19 and 20, Warren and Harris. Then you got Walker, Brian Robertson, Edwards, Jacobs, and A-Chain to finish out the top 25. Eckler, 26, by the way. So,
Boo.
what the heck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what? You think about some of them names, not to cut you off, Jose, but you think of some of those names you just dropped, and then when you start thinking fantasy, this is what we're talking about, right? Fantasy.
Yeah.
So you start thinking fantasy, man. You think about those names, guys who are coming out in spurts. Outside of McCaffrey,
Yeah.
who's been super consistent, Mostert, touchdown machine.
Yeah.
Touchdown machine, but you got to think, okay, who was hot the first 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and then who got their ride in the last 7? And then you got to think of the consistency of, well, who just played all year and was the number 1 all year? A guy like Rashad White, for an example. The guy got the goal line touches.
Yeah.
Like the guy.
He was all around.
Yeah, he got passes out of the backfield. Like he was a solid workhorse.
And he played 17 weeks, too.
That's what that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, running backs...
Kyron Williams.
Yeah, it's
started the season, got hurt, came back, and had a monster. What, 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's what I'm trying to say. But if you think about it, you look at those numbers. Where did Kyron number 5?
Yeah, and he missed 4 weeks. So, my question to you guys is: that's why I'm telling you guys will be like, Jose, if you want to Google this right quick, like look at the projected fantasy top 25, 30 pick, like. You're gonna be worried because you're gonna be like, man, I do not want to start off with one of these guys as my first pick. Like, look at these running backs. These are who are going in the first round next year. Like,
Oh my God.
it's weird,
You're
man.
talking about for running backs?
Yeah, like it's kind of weird, man. First, second, third round. Like, you're taking guys that went 5th, 6th, 7th round last year. So like you're almost taking a chance, but it is what it is. All right. And then my last one is the tight end position. Quickly want to go over this right quick. So you guys, number 1, Samuel Laporta, baby. Number 2, Kelsey and Hawkinson. Pretty much, he was only 4 yards away. So 2 is Kelsey, 3 is Hawkinson, 4 Evan Ingram. 5, George Kittle. 6, Njoku. 7, Kmet. 8, McBride. 9, Ferguson. 10, Schultz. Then, believe it or not, Andrews still number 11. Goddard, Kincaid, Taysom Hill, number 13. Pitts, and then Logan Thomas. Those are your top 15.
So let me go right to what you were talking about. I just threw a little Google search out there.
Yeah, I did it too, and it tripped me out.
I tried to do running backs, but it gave me players. It's saying
players.
it's saying
Just read 'em out.
McCaffrey 1,
Okay.
CD Lamb 2,
Yep.
Justin Jefferson 3, Tyreek Hill 4, running back number 2,
Listen to this.
Brees Hall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams 3, running back. Bijan Robinson. who
Who's
I don't-
next? Hit the horn. Hit the
Hit the
horn.
horn. Jameer Gibbs, running back 5. Running back 5.
That's crazy. Like,
So let me ask you guys this question: from those running backs other than McCaffrey, like who would you want to start your fantasy team with? Like that you have full 100% confidence to run the team with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but does Breece Hall get all that all that action once Aaron Rodgers comes back?
Is he gonna? I mean, you believe he's gonna get more, right? Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, give me a young running back. I would feel comfortable with the back three with Kyron Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs, honestly.
Well,
and by the way, my boy got
first round.
Hey, my boy got snubbed again. As a matter of fact, we need to adjust number 10, put him at number 5, and move everybody down one. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a top 5 pick in fantasy football next year.
So I'm saying though, you would start your fantasy team with Jahmyr Gibbs,
I did this year.
number 1 pick though.
Oh no, hell.
I'm saying
with my number 1 pick. Listen, man,
it's tough, man. I'm telling you, I saw that and I was like, dude, it's weird.
And fantasy, you gotta. It's like the NFL. You gotta learn to adjust. And we're used to taking these names, but now they're starting.
But it's not even that now. You know what?
Would you take Kyron
are you talking about a top 5, right? You're talking top 5.
I mean, first round.
Like,
in general.
yeah, but hold on though. You got to talk about where you're positioned when you talk about fantasy football. You have to, because if I got a late round pick and my first like a 10-man team, right, or a 10-man league, and I'm the 7th pick, and I know I'm getting 5 picks later.
Okay.
And Gibbs is there, and he's that best available. Can I see myself starting my team with knowing I have Gibbs, but I'm going to get that other number 1 runner, or that top receiver, that projected top 5 receiver to match up with them? It's so hard now, being the number 1 pick or the number 2 pick, or where it's going to hurt is the number 3 pick. You know what I mean? Now you're not getting another pick for another 16 guys or whatever, 14 guys.
Yeah,
that's where you talk about, can you build your team off of that one player?
You know, it's funny. I want to quickly say this. I saw a clip, and they're doing like comparisons. They had like 5 guys, and they will say a receiver, and then they'll say another receiver, and I mean they'll stick to one receiver, and then they'll start naming off other receivers and see if you think they're better. So then they said Amon-Ra St. Brown, they said Terry McLaurin, everybody said Terry. No. They said Devontae Smith. Everybody said Devontae Smith. They said T. Higgins. Everybody said T. Higgins.
Are they talking about production or just as a receiver?
This, in general, who would you rather have on your team? And they all voted those guys over Amon-Ra St. Brown. And look who finished number 3 in fantasy. And only 2 players played better than him this year. This was before this year started. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching the video. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, they're such idiots. Like, imagine if the Lions had Devontae Smith. We would not be as good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. Even T. Higgins, injury prone, and even Scary Terry, like the stuff that Amon-Ra does for our team, it's huge.
It's like the college. Listen, it's like the college bias. When you talk about an SEC team compared to everything else, when you talk about somebody that's on the Detroit Lions, like we're finally getting a little respect. They're putting a little respect on the name.
Yep.
Finally. Still not fully there yet.
No, it's not. A little. I said finally getting a little. A little. I didn't say total. I said a little respect on the name.
Yeah, we need another air horn right now, because
let me hear this.
I just realized the Lions had a top 10 receiver, a top 10 running back, and a top 10 tight end. And a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
Yo, Ben Johnson. Shout out to Ben.
Well, that's why people said that he's crazy. Ben Johnson said if he's taking the head coaching job, he wants X amount of dollars as a salary per year.
He is getting it.
And they were saying that's above Sean Payton. That's above. And they're talking about that's crazy requests and crazy numbers. Like, are you kidding? Look what he did. I mean, I'd rather have him not, right?
I wish.
Where do you want him? Do you want him to leave?
Oh, absolutely not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think there's like a 90% chance he's leaving.
I really think
the only way he doesn't leave is like we get to the NFC Championship and we miss out on it, and he's like licking his chops.
And he wants to finish something he started.
Yeah, exactly. Because next year he can get.
I think he's taking.
Is it about the money, or is it about doing something special?
He waited this year to do something special. I don't blame the guy if he does leave. I ain't mad at him if he does leave. Because
but are you worried if he
just
leaves?
Tell the Ford family to pay him?
I think we're sleeping on Dan Campbell and how much hands he actually has on like a lot of the stuff that happens. Like I think
all goes through the coach's head.
I don't think he shows it off enough because he likes to have his guys being represented, like Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. I think Dan Campbell low key has his hands on a lot more than we actually know. Don't get me wrong, Ben Johnson's that crazy. Mad
scientist.
But like when it comes down to actually executing and making the decisions, I think Dan Campbell makes a lot of those calls that, we kind of give Ben Johnson credit for. We're going to give a shout out to our next sponsor. We're probably done with fantasy. Now we're going to talk about NFL stuff, awards, comeback player of the year, coach of the year, and then NFL playoff predictions, Super Bowl predictions. We're about to do all that stuff, and then maybe talk a little bit of Lions before we close out the show. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to Juice Box and Hamtramck. Yusuf, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Juice Box, and then we're going to keep things rolling.
All right, Yusuf, I want you to envision this with me, okay? Imagine you just had a long day at work, and all you want is a nice, cool, refreshing drink to top it all off. Do you know where you stop by at, Yusuf?
It's got to be Juice Box.
It's definitely Juice Box. If you're looking for a place with the best smoothies, milkshakes, ice cream, cereal bars, and slushies, then Juice Box is your one-stop shop. You can try things like their Biscoff or Nutella shakes, crepes, watermelon blast, strawberry burst, or mango smoothies. And if you're looking for a place to hang out, they have a comfortable outdoor patio/courtyard area that you and your friends can enjoy while trying those delicious drinks. So be sure to stop by Juice Box. They have a Hamtramck location right there on Joseph Campo, with more locations coming soon. You'll be sure to leave there with a big smile on your face. You'll also be able to order your drinks from the new Juice Box app, which will also be coming soon. It will be downloadable on all of your smartphone devices.
It was like, this is Jim Harbaugh's last game in the
he's a
University.
hater. He's a hater.
Yeah, but you guys don't like him, and he don't like you guys. So there could be some.
Shout out.
All right, with that said,
Phil?
we're back. Mike,
Fall bomb or
Yeah,
whatever.
fall
I
bomb.
can't stand.
That guy's a hater,
I
man.
can't stand that. I can't.
Kareem Thabit said AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. I mean, he's just mentioning names, I guess, of people. I don't know if that was the bus category or.
I don't know.
category.
AJ Brown busted out for the playoffs. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and
Fantasy
Anonymous said
playoffs.
Cam Akers was supposed to be Kyron Williams. That's not true because Cam Akers doesn't have talents. Okay, all right. What that said,
That's a good call. He's a Florida State Seminole.
I feel bad for him because he's done
Yeah.
pretty much. He
Who?
got injured
Cam
again.
Akers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he tore his Achilles.
Yeah, that's it. Once
Again?
you do it twice, it's over for you, man. All right, with that said, listen, Jose wants to talk U of M football. Can we do it after we do this NFL right quick? Go ahead.
You set it up.
More cowbell. We going to Houston, baby. Bring out the cowbells.
I thought they're in Houston.
They're already there.
Okay.
They're already there. But
Nico Collins gonna be in the crowd.
you know what?
Yes, he is.
The cowbell's already rung. Talk to us, Jose. How you feeling as a U of M fan going to the national championship?
All-time high. This is the best thing I've ever experienced as a Michigan fan. You know, we've asked, as soon as Harbaugh came in, we asked him to beat Ohio State, and he done it. We asked him to get us a Big Ten championship, and he done it. We asked him to get us to the playoffs, and he done it. We asked for a win in the playoffs, and he's done it. So who's not to say? We going bring home the championship,
stop.
guys. Hey.
How long did it take Harbaugh to do it?
Michigan shirts all around, huh?
How long did it take Harbaugh to do it?
Enough time.
Enough time.
It doesn't.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Go ahead,
If
AB. Go
Michigan
ahead.
wins the national championship tomorrow night,
Oh, God.
and you
The answer
guys,
is yes, no matter what.
and you guys go back to what you did after the 50s and the early 1900s when Michigan was relevant,
With
okay?
Miami?
Yeah, well, no, Miami. We got some national championships. We went through some scandals. We went through some stuff. Went through some bad coaches.
Hey, don't we all go through that?
100%. But my question is, as a Michigan fan, will you be happy with another 100 years of losing if you win tomorrow night?
Hey, I just want to see one championship, baby, before I die.
There you go.
Same goes to you, Lions.
Typical Michigan fan.
All right. Hey, listen, what is your overall prediction of the game? I'm telling you right now, Washington is not a joke.
It's
Not
not,
at
a
all.
joke.
Michael
We're
Penix
going to-
Jr. is on a
is the
fire
nu-
right
hey, he is the number one quarterback coming out of college.
Nah,
I
stop.
think so. I think he's more.
not.
He's got.
I like him a lot.
He is poised.
I like him. I can't believe people are out there
He
saying
can stand
that.
in the pocket and he can run. He's dangerous. Like people are trying to say, well, I heard. I mean, it's a. I don't even want to
toss
say that.
dimes.
They're talking about his. They're talking about his release. They're talking about his throwing motion, the lefty.
And it's
Michael
funny.
Penix Jr. is going to go to a team just like kind of like Lamar, where people are ripping him, and he's going to run that organization for a little bit. For a
You know
good
what I'm
amount,
scared?
man.
He stays with that color, man. That purple
And Minnesota would take him in a heartbeat.
my-
By the
you
way,
know they said-
there's rumors that Minnesota went heavy trying to get Anthony Richardson. They were trying to get. They threw a haul at Indianapolis and anyone else
Scary.
to move up, and Indianapolis wasn't budging. So that
Yeah.
should tell you that Minnesota is in the market for a quarterback. Literally, they threw a haul, ended up drafting Jaron Hall, and that didn't work out for them.
Thank God.
But with that said, Jose, what's your prediction? What's your final score prediction?
Of course, I want Michigan to win. I expect it to be like a 28-17 win, but you know, this is a completely different Washington team that we played before. These guys, like the portal is a dangerous game.
Oh, my God.
man. These guys, like teams switch, like they're showing highlights of what Blake Corum. Okay, I understand But this is a different team. They got first rounders on both sides of the ball. I want them. I seen mock drafts where we're taking the defensive end from Washington already, and they're talking about he plays just like Hutchinson. So they're dangerous on both sides of the ball. We just need to contain.
Well, if you watch a playoff game, Texas scored on the ground. That's a good sign for Michigan. Michigan's a run team, run first team. Michigan's probably going to put up some points, okay? It's just, can they stop Washington's pass attack? This is really going to put Michigan's defense, especially their secondary, on notice. And Michigan's got one of the top defense in the country right now. Because of that, and you talking about good defense, I'm seeing a high-scoring game. A buddy of mine keeps putting in my head 31-24.
What's the over?
Michigan. 55 actually is the over and under. 55.
I see a high-scoring game too, man. I see like 41-38, man.
Hey.
I don't see that high. I see 31-24.
This is like one of the best college football playoffs.
Oh my God, that was the best semifinal.
Both games.
Since the college football playoffs started, that was the best semifinals.
And they needed that to justify keeping Florida State out. But just quick side
track. Mollywomp.
Yeah, absolutely. Their guys wouldn't have left either. Okay, so they had their backup quarterback. Okay, they're too sick.
They would have got mollywomp.
So, your boy Keon Coleman, that's a bad dude.
Yeah, he just decided.
I had to throw that out there, huh?
Leaves MSU, has a monster year, and about to be a first-round draft pick, bro. That's
crazy. Jordan Travis
made a right decision.
But you guys noticed the rest of the bowl season was caca. Right?
Yeah. Well, guess what?
Absolutely.
We're officially,
because of the
after
transfer
this game,
portal.
we are in a 12-team playoff from this point forward. That's how
you got to keep it.
That's going to be the greatest thing.
If you want to keep these kids at their schools and their certain colleges, because you see what happened with Georgia, Florida State, and you've seen a lot of other schools. Come on. Ohio State's quarterback was already with his new team. By the time their playoff game, or not playoff, but their bowl game started. Kids are just dropping like flies.
It's crazy. All right, here we go.
Good luck, Wolverines.
Award time. All right, here we go. Comeback player of the year. I know people are giving it to DeMar Hamlin, but Joe Flacco's
it's either
number
DeMar,
2.
yeah, it's DeMar or Joe.
It's going to be DeMar. They're not going to. It was so funny. I seen memes. They were like, the debate between the comeback player of the year award. DeMar Hamlin died, came back to life. Joe Flacco played for the Jets and came back to the Browns. He's like, then they put in quotation marks, which could be worse than dying. So that's kind of what you're facing here. Is it DeMar Hamlin no matter what, guys, or does Flacco actually have a legit shot?
I think you're right politically with everything that happened in the NFL and what the NFL did and the whole for DeMar Hamlin. It's more than it's signed, sealed, delivered.
Okay, offensive player of the year, is it McCaffrey running away with it or what?
100.
Jose?
Oh, absolutely. McCaffrey 100%.
Defensive player of the year, is it Myles Garrett? Yeah, Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett.
Look. They got the number one defense in my eyes. I can see Myles Garrett 100%.
Me too. I think it's Myles Garrett.
Real quick on the comeback player part, if I had to choose, I know they talk about him from time to time, but Baker Mayfield, man, had a great year. I have to think about what happened to him last year. 3 teams getting cut, came to the Buccaneers. Can get him into the playoffs tonight with the win.
Win a division. Like if Baker Mayfield wins a division, he definitely needs to be up there. I mean, not gonna give him it. They're not gonna give him it, but
my man died and came back and had 4 tackles. I mean, what you gonna say?
Was it special teams or was it?
It was a special team, all right.
Defensive AB. Are we going with Myles Garrett or who you got?
I mean, I think TJ Watt's in the conversation.
Yeah, he's because he leads the league in sacks.
Yeah, I think TJ Watt's in the conversation.
I mean, look at Pittsburgh 10-7, dude. I swear, Pittsburgh is an annoying team, bro.
I don't think Mike Tomlin's ever finished under 500.
Nope.
He didn't. 17.
Another winning season. That's
17.
Shout out.
That's impressive.
Very impressive.
Very impressive.
But go ahead. Who did you say?
Yeah, I'd say Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. There was somebody else, and
Micah Parsons?
No, it's just not coming up. I was looking at it earlier today, and I drew a blank, so you can come back to me.
All right, Coach of the Year.
Man.
Listen, we were talking about this. They were talking about this in RNFL. You know, Dan Campbell was supposed to run away with it, but now you got 3 contestants, maybe 2 now. I think I'm giving him a slight edge over him, which is going to be D'Amico Ryans,
exactly.
But really, Kevin Stefanski does deserve to be the Coach of the Year. He lost his QB1, RB1, and a bunch of other players, and the Browns are 11-5, could be 12-5. Running with Joe Flacco, who was on the couch.
We could have a
Literally.
Browns versus Lions Super Bowl.
There's a bunch of
yeah.
projections. They said that the script was leaked. You know.
Listen, I don't want to.
I'm
play
going
the
to
Browns in the
Vegas.
Super Bowl.
Going to
dude.
Vegas. With
Well,
the
they
Super Bowl.
again. You guys got to remember.
But we're not going to be judged.
People keep saying this. I'm going to say this over and over. I might say this for the next several years if I'm on this show for that long.
Of course,
The
you'll be on this later.
NFL, the NBA, the NHL, and MLB are all labeled the same as WWE. It's all sports entertainment. You guys have to understand that. Just like the WWE's got scripted matches, I'm telling you,
Hey.
there's a script. I'm not saying they control every play, every down, every result, but there is a script.
We had this talk last night, me and my kids. Wrestling is real.
It is real. It's 100% real. You get your body beat up, but I'm going to tell you right now.
They know what they're doing.
There's somebody else that gets to choose who's getting the push and who's not getting the push.
That's true. Because
So-
there's holding on every play.
And I was talking to Moti about this last week. And I said the only team that I think gives Baltimore Ravens a problem is the Cleveland Browns.
Absolutely. Joe Flacco knocking out the Ravens.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, the Baltimore Ravens do not want to see the Cleveland Browns.
Nobody wants to see the Cleveland Browns right now.
Like-
With Flacco, they're averaging like 28 points a game. This is crazy. So, but again, Coach of the Year,
Stephens.
lock it in. I don't
Stephens.
think it's Stefan. I would give it to
D'Amico
D'Amico
Ryan?
man. D'Amico.
I mean, he did take
The guy had the number 2 pick in the draft and end up winning his division. I mean, like, he went all in.
They have to. Jacksonville has to lose for the win division. They won the playoffs for sure. If Jacksonville wins, they won the division.
I mean, yeah, again,
But, yeah,
Well,
it's a
Houston's
turnaround.
in. Yeah, Houston's in.
Houston's in though.
There's a lot of scenarios
But you're
going
right.
on.
With
This is
Jacksonville losing, Houston goes from what, 4 wins last year
Yeah.
to winning the division
that's crazy.
and making the
They're,
playoffs.
they're what, 10-7 now?
Yeah. That's very impressive.
Very
I'm not gonna lie. In one year, and you could tell by the way that they're playing, the
And they're
culture
bought in.
change.
Yeah, they're bought
You know.
in.
Another Coach of the Year candidate is Sean McVay.
Yeah, I gotta give him credit too, man. I gotta give him respect.
The guy hasn't had a draft pick in 3 years and freaking made the
and,
playoffs.
and still hits on his draft picks. By the way, his little
The king of the 5th.
third, fourth, fifth rounders.
He's the king of the 5th rounder.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Great performance by the Rams this year. And he said he's going to be back next year, which is huge because I'm not going to lie to you. I was
thought
going
he
to
was
stay away
leaving.
from Rams players, but now that he's going to be back next year,
Give me Kyron.
as long as Stafford is healthy, all those players
Hey,
are worth getting.
Another thing, real quick, after all this, we're all going to talk about the pickup of the year, but go ahead.
Yeah, and we could debate that too. Offensive Rookie of the Year,
CJ Stroud.
but Puka Nacua should be right there behind him.
If Puka breaks the record, I think they'll give it to him. But what sucks is Stroud was like 200 yards shy, and we missed, what, 2 games or 3
yeah,
games?
probably too.
200 yards
And
shy.
he took his team to the playoffs as a rookie quarterback and has
Threw for 4,000
and
yards.
and again, if the Jags lose, he wins the division as a rookie quarterback.
and he never beat Michigan. That's crazy.
And yes, he's never beat Michigan. That's crazy, and he's an NFL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be the Rookie of the Year, but Puka Nacua definitely
Deserves
pushed
it.
him. Definitely
'Cause
pushed him
yeah,
to
you're
the limit.
talking. Yeah, you know, Puka was. Nobody talked about him coming out the draft. You know, he didn't have no expectations. That's why
We didn't even know who he was when Omar said him week 1.
And we all started.
We had no
laughing.
idea. Yeah, we laughed.
We all laughed out.
You called him a cricket player.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, saying Jalen Carter, but I'm telling you, Eagles fans
Yeah.
have been complaining about Jalen Carter lately.
Right now, yeah,
Real
Jalen Carter.
Eagle fan, not the homers like Saul.
The odds are
So who's your? I mean,
Will Anderson.
my-
I think both Houston rookies are going to win these Rookie of the Years, man.
Okay,
It's going to be Jalen Carter. I think the favorite is for him. And
Like there's Garrett
that's
Wilson. Was
crazy,
it Garrett
bro.
Wilson last year? And
Yeah.
and which one? So it's
Yeah.
both Jets players.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen right now in
That's
Houston.
crazy. I if it was me personally, Devin Witherspoon is defensive rookie of the year. Prove me wrong.
I can't argue with that. I
Okay.
definitely can't.
Stud.
And then we were talking about this quickly. Pickup fantasy player of the year. Is it Kyron or is it Puka?
As a Kyron owner, I would say Kyron. Because, but again, as a guy that got...
Puka came up. Listen, Puka
And-
came up big the last
and-
couple of weeks in the playoffs too.
It's crazy, like-
With Cup playing.
Can we do a co-pickup of the year? We'll give it to the LA Rams in general?
Listen, argument. This is the argument right now. Y'all got to answer it. Was it Kyron? Was it Puka? Because those are the top two.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? They both put up.
And they both finished top 5 in their position.
Yeah.
They finished top 5. They both. They mean if you had Kyron, you did great in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You had Puka, you did great in the playoffs. That's a tough. That
Sounds like the Rams have a great problem to have
Yeah.
in the next few
yeah,
years.
and you're right. You know what? I didn't even think about that. They're
Yeah.
both Rams.
Both Rams players, all right? With
On
that
rookie
said,
deals.
we got to run our quick ad. Believe it or not, guys, we're 10 minutes down. We got to quickly do our playoff predictions and then Super Bowl predictions. Our last ad for today is going to be the Balkan House restaurants. Shout out to Balkan House, and then we're gonna keep things rolling. So shout out to Balkan House.
It's all that Michigan talk.
You know what, Yusuf, man? I'm in the mood for some Balkan food.
Yeah, man, me too.
Well, there's no better place to go for Balkan than the Balkan House restaurant. The Balkan House restaurant is famous for their doner kebab sandwiches. But did you know that the Balkan House now serves breakfast? Did you also know that all their food is 100% halal? There are currently 2 Balkan House locations, one in Hamtramck and one in Ferndale. But they now also have 2 food trucks, so you can book your next party or event with the Balkan House on wheels. If you're looking for a nice place to eat with friendly service and great prices, look no further than the Balkan House restaurant.
But do you really want the Monday? Do you really want the Monday game?
I definitely don't want Monday.
Depending if you have to come back and play Saturday or Sunday.
Whoever's playing
I mean,
Monday is going to play Monday probably, but I definitely don't want Monday game. We're talking about the playoffs right now, guys and ladies, and we're just trying to figure out how it's going to look. So here we go. Playoff predictions. I guess we don't need to sit here and predict who we think is going to finish in the wild card, but let's say who is advancing after the first round from the AFC and NFC. Jose, AFC, who's advancing in the first round?
So let's go real quick off the top.
You got Baltimore for sure, but you got KC probably playing against Buffalo or Miami.
Baltimore gets the bye. There's
KC on the they're gonna play at home. I'm sorry, they won their division. I was gonna say KC. We can see KC getting past the first round, but I don't see.
Not if it's against. I don't think if it's against Buffalo.
Oof, that'll be beautiful. Okay, give me the next 4, and the next round would be Buffalo, of course.
Does Buffalo make? Hold on.
Buffalo's got to win to get in.
Yeah, but see, if Buffalo doesn't now, Buffalo's got to win, and they not only they get in, but they win the division, right?
Yeah.
So if Buffalo loses to Miami today,
They're out.
So Buffalo would never play KC in the first round. But go ahead.
Okay, we got you right. So we're gonna go.
Does Miami? If Miami loses,
Am I
are
going
they
to Miami?
still in as a wild card?
Yeah, if Miami.
You're right. Buffalo
they
will not
clinched.
play Kansas City anymore in
Miami
the first round
clinched right
because Pittsburgh won. So Buffalo, the only way they can advance is by being the 3 or being the
3 seed.
Yeah.
3 seed.
Yeah, they got to win their division.
Yeah, because the winner of the South ain't gonna. The winner of the South.
Kansas City can still finish number 2.
They're gonna have the same record as Miami if they win tonight. But if not, they're gonna.
No,
finish it.
Buffalo will be the 2 seed, guys. Believe it or not, they'll jump to the 2 because they'll have the same record as Kansas City, and Kansas City, they beat Kansas City.
Nice.
So they go from 6 to 2 if they win today.
Yeah, I want to see Mahomes in a first road.
That's
playoff
crazy.
game.
Yeah.
There's a chance that 3 teams from the AFC North can make it. But real quick, let's run them. I'm going to stick with my next rounders are going to be Baltimore, Miami. Man, we don't know the matchups yet, so we're just going with the best. I still see Cleveland riding hot. And man, I hate
I agree. Those are my 4.
hate
How about the
KC. Sorry,
NFC?
guys.
Who you got advancing in the first round? I mean, I'm sure you got
49ers are going. Right now it's Dallas at 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dallas at 2, Detroit at 3, Tampa.
Yeah, I know, but right now we don't know who's going where though.
Yes.
Because
So if you would have had to pick
if
4
if it's Dallas and LA, Dallas is going. Dallas, if LA, Detroit's gonna be tough. I still feel like Detroit. I feel like the top seed. I don't see any really upsets.
Okay.
Like hold on, it'd be who's winning the South right now?
Right now it's
Tampa.
Tampa.
So Tampa, who's the number 1 wild
No,
card?
but they're not beating Philadelphia.
Number 1 is
None of those
Philly.
teams.
And
No, who's the wild card?
wild card is Philly, Rams, and it's either going to be
Philly, because that's right,
yeah.
because of Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. You're taking Philly probably there, Detroit and Dallas.
Okay, so
with
now
Frisco.
we're in the NFC divisional rounds. Okay, so now you have Dallas against Detroit. You got Philly against San Fran. Who you got?
Dallas or Detroit destroys Dallas just based off of what happened. That thing that happened Saturday night with the eligible and stuff could be the best thing that ever happened to this team.
Thank you.
Could be the best thing that ever happened to. Let me say it one last time. It could be the best thing that ever happened to this team if they got to play Dallas one more time.
More cowbell.
In Dallas.
Yes.
Ring the cowbell.
Where's the cowbell? There you go. All right, Jose, you got Cleveland playing against Baltimore. Then you got Miami playing against Kansas City. Based off of your projections, who you got going in those?
As much as I would love to see
Nader
Joe
alert.
Flacco.
I got
make
Nader.
it real quick. We're just going to go with the Ravens and Miami again.
Okay, there you go. And then now
that's a
Super
game.
Bowl. Who we got? Who we got in the Super Bowl?
Mr. Elite.
Hello?
Hey,
Nader?
Hello?
yes, Nader, you hear us?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nader, so listen,
Yes.
I just want to give you scenarios. We are going to have to shut the show down at 12 o'clock exactly, which is like 5 minutes away. We're doing
Oh,
quickly.
I just had 2 questions.
Yes.
2 questions, real quick.
Yep.
Is my cousin there?
Yes, sir. Right next to me.
Okay, good. Is my trophy there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Give
a
your
good
trophy. Give your trophy. Shout out to Nader. Appreciate him. Super
Nader
Bowl.
elite,
Super
super
Bowl.
elite.
Who you got?
So
You got Rams 49ers.
So now we got the 49ers
Lions
versus the
49ers.
Lions.
And then you got
Baltimore versus Miami. That sucks.
I got
Listen,
Baltimore 49ers.
I'm drinking.
Let's not be biased,
I'm
guys.
drinking. No, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid,
Stop
man.
it, Let's not be
biased.
If
Stop
the
it,
Lions make it to the NFC Championship, with the chip on their shoulder right now, the way Amon-Ra and St. Brown
don't
is
do the
feeling,
sus. Don't do the
the way-
sus,
right,
baby.
I'm riding. I'm telling you, I'm
Give
riding.
the man some air
They're
horn.
going to do something.
Give him some air horn.
We taking. I can only imagine what happens Monday night if the Wolverines win the national championship. Like, I could see the state going crazy, but I'm telling you right now, if the Lions go to the Super Bowl,
I'm going to Vegas.
Me too.
I'm
if
going to
the
Vegas.
Lions
Just to be in the
go
area.
Just to be in the area,
to
walk
the
around.
But you're
Super
gonna
Bowl.
miss Detroit's celebration.
Oh no, I'm gonna.
I think.
will
I
make it.
yeah. I think.
will
I think.
make
I think
it.
if
We
Dan
talked
Campbell
about
gets
this
the
other day.
Lions to the NFC Championship, the Lions are going to the Super Bowl.
There you go, man. One more air horn for that.
One
That's,
more
that's,
air
that's
horn,
the
man.
clip. That's the clip, guys. The way he said it with all the energy.
And me and the boys are all going to Vegas. Straight up,
We have to.
we are going to Vegas.
Ball-
I got to
Baltimore
hook.
and
I got to
Miami,
hook
you got
up at the
Baltimore?
Mirage.
Man, look, Lamar Jackson is playing at an all-time high. He is the runaway MVP favorite, I think, for sure now. I'm surprised they're not mentioning Harbaugh for Coach of the Year. They're clicking on all cylinders, and they lost their number one offensive player and haven't took a step back. So,
All right.
I
Well, there you go. So what is it? We got a Baltimore against Detroit Super Bowl.
bring on Baltimore.
And you know the Lions are going to be ready for some payback.
Yes.
Like, it's the greatest thing that can happen if our scenarios play out. Detroit goes back to Dallas, right? Avenges that
Yeah.
huge mishap, and then to go see, you know what I'm saying, the boys that beat them down in Baltimore.
This is going to be a payback train for us right now from the first round to the
That's what
championship.
I'm trying to
if,
say.
if we start off with Seattle in the first round, for sure it's
Run
going to
it.
be a payback trend. Even if we get Green Bay,
But
to be honest
like
with you.
AB was saying, honest to God, if we won that Cowboys game,
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it because
Yeah.
now you're riding a winning streak
Yeah.
going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, and then you're going in confident, like, let's look what we did. We had a really bad game, which the Lions did that day. They had a really bad game, and we came back and scored in that last minute. I said, we're going to score, and we're going to go for two, you know, the coach, the Dan Campbell. And, okay, so you did all that. You lost, though, okay? If you would have won, exactly, I think you're riding on false confidence, and then you're going back into Dallas, and Dallas is now more hungry for giving up that late lead and losing that game. Now, it's just all momentum. I mean, again, if Campbell's the guy that we think he is, he's going to have his boys ready.
I think he will. It's going to be interesting to see the Lions now in the playoffs. This is exactly how we kind of wanted them to enter it.
I wish we can
Big week
just-
this week as long as we don't get injuries. That's my most important thing.
Well, he's playing everybody.
We lose. I don't care if we lose. I want to win, obviously, so we
Mental
get the 2
rep,
seed.
baby.
And you just want to win because of the, just overall you want to win. You don't want to lose games. The biggest thing, though, is no injuries. Please, no injuries. No major injuries to any player. We need to be healthy. We're relatively healthy going into the playoffs because we're going to have Houston hopefully coming back, too.
And Gardner
So,
Johnson is back in the rotation.
And McNeil as well. So it's like we're relatively healthy. We just can't have any major injury going into this playoffs, and hopefully that doesn't happen for us.
Well, you just don't want to go out on you don't want to go into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak either.
Yeah, for sure. Hello, guys. Great season, everyone. Anyone playing for championship in Week 18 should seriously reconsider the league they are in. Seriously,
It's just it's just buddies from high school, their wives and stuff like that. It's a mixed league. We've been doing it for about 7-8 years now. It's just for fun. They do it. They go into 18. They want an extra week. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's why. Even if I won that championship, I wouldn't consider it. You know.
should though. You should because
I've won it 4 of the last 6 years. Don't get me wrong. It's
There you
not
go.
fair, but
Shout out to AB.
Shout out to
we don't-
I'm just saying.
we don't just have
I
random
know
people.
I mean,
We don't just have random people
talking about
saying-
week 18.
Fantasy football.
Join a 12-man league and talk to me.
All right, there you go. Believe it or not, we got 1 minute left. What are you guys looking forward to the most this final regular season week? We're going to close out the show this way. I know we're going to talk about the Lions, but we already did talk about the Lions enough. So, week 18, Jose, what are you looking forward to the most?
Just to see how this AFC plays out. I love it when it's all, especially we got a Sunday night game that's going to have a lot of stuff on the line. I kind of want to see the Jaguars lose only because I want to see the Steelers in the
Trevor Lawrence is playing
I
today.
don't,
He is
man.
active.
I don't want to see the Steelers in the playoffs.
I mean, it's
Because they're just boring to watch, man. I love Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I understand.
But
They got
they're
Mason
boring.
Rudolph.
Yeah.
That's been only throwing for 300 yards the past 3 games. He's so whack. Mason Rudolph and Joe Flacco are about to ride into the playoffs and in the AFC. Imagine that. The Browns versus the Steelers AFC Championship.
That'd be hilarious.
It would.
AB, what are you looking forward to?
It's that Sunday night game, right? It's Buffalo, Miami.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I grew up a Buffalo Bills fan. Kind of let them go a long time ago, but kind of jumped back on the bandwagon a couple years back. So,
Listen, the AFC is hoping Miami wins this game because Buffalo is the hottest team right now. Them and Baltimore probably in the AFC. Everybody in the AFC is praying that Miami wins this game.
well, Waddle's out and Mostert's out tonight for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not
Oh,
playing.
yeah, they're both out for sure.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, so
And-
we're still in the game. Yeah.
Well, Azia also mentioned C.J. Gardner-Johnson's a head case about what the comment that he made. Yeah, he should have never said that. Like,
Yeah,
come
he
on,
wants
man.
to be
like,
playing, yeah.
Like, dude, I understand you want to play. We all know you want to play. Come on, man. We're about to enter the playoffs. This is not the time. Like, come on, C.J. But I'm not gonna lie to you. He's on a 1-year deal. This is why teams signed him.
I
to
mean,
1-year
hold on
deals,
though, man. He's the one that started the. Is that
mask.
is that
Yeah,
the blue
he is.
mask right
He is.
there? I
He
see the
is.
blue mask right there. It's in the clear. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his, the way he
Just
plays
saying.
and the impact he has on the team. I'm just saying, like, come on. We haven't heard one locker room situation pretty much the whole year. Don't start that right before we're about to go into the
Yeah,
playoffs.
divas are divas, man.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show. This was season 3, episode 19 of the Fantasy Guys. Again, follow us YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all under Oz Media. Listen to the show on Apple and Spotify. Podcast under Oz Media. Shout out to the sponsors. You got Balkan House, Juice Box, Qahwah House, Hanley International Academy, BC Adhesives, Specialty Medical Center, and Unique Coney Island. We appreciate them. We hope that you enjoyed this show. You know, now that we're entering this phase of no more fantasy football, we're
AKA
gonna,
depression.
yeah, we're about to just, we're going to be talking NFL, maybe some NBA, and of course, LOL League.
A lot of LOL.
So, we're going to have some Sundays for that. It should be fun. Looking forward to that. We hope that you enjoyed our fantasy football year this year. Congratulations to all the winners. We're here to answer all your questions, and you could be like this guy right here, the champion, and you could be
The
carrying,
champ is
you
here.
could be carrying belts. You could be having trophies next
champ
to you.
is here.
Guys,
So-
it's very hard, heavy belts and
The
trophies.
champ is here.
Hands full. I need another hand. Can somebody help me out here?
I
got you.
I got you.
Whatever you need. No homo.
All right. Shout
Great
out,
season.
shout out to these guys. Great year. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you all, inshallah.